Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Grille. It's a tier 5 German SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Cliff and it's under the commands of talon1958. And yes, you can see 2 marks of excellence on the end of his barrel. Game started. Well, he only made 282 Grilles during the war. You're much more likely to see a Marder, basically the same vehicle without the 15cm howitzer, instead with a pack anti-tank gun, 75mm, than you are to see a Grille, because I think most of the Grilles were lost and very few of them exist, if they do exist at all, and I think there might be one in Germany at their tank museum. Oh, that's a little too close for me. I'm going to pull back. It's probably my settings, not Talon's. But you can see he's aiming for the road going up to the top of the cliff. That's out. Good shot. Yeah, it landed directly behind the type. Now I'm having to... Yes, I'm doing some adjustments on the fly here. I'm not sure, it's not showing the correct, it's just way too close than I would normally be, so I'm trying to adjust the view so you can get a better view of what's going on. I'm not sure if that's Talon's settings or mine. I think it may be mine, but we can see he's looking around the map for his next target, and he's, well, he wants to go back to that type, but there are some other targets nearby. Well, this is the Schwerfeldhaubitze, the heavy field howitzer, 15cm, based on the same hull as the Panzer 38 T, which is the same hull used for the Hetzer and for quite a few other vehicles, including the Marder. It was a very successful hull, very narrow tracks, but it was a reliable engine made by the Czechs, and in fact actually they put out quite a few hulls during the war. Some might say, oh, will that be aiding the enemy in collaboration? Well, if they didn't aid the enemy, yes, the Germans could be rather harsh to the Czechs, and they were. They did, as you know, massacre an entire town simply out of revenge for the loss of Rudolf Heydrich. Is it Rudolf Heydrich? I think it is Rudolf Heydrich. Anyway. Well, it landed exactly where that enemy tank was. The Panzer III Dry. Panzer Dry J. Okay, KV2. He has got the 152mm howitzer, and he's a prime target for Talon, but he's got to dial in first, and he's not fully dialed in yet, but he's getting there. If he does get fully dialed in, that KV2's going to know it. That's out. He pulled back just in time. He did get tracked, and I think that... and he's gone. That's it. Yeah, I thought he was going to go because he got tracked in a position where he could be hit. Excuse me if I adjust the camera a bit so you can actually see what's going on. Still not sure why we're getting this this effect. I think it's down to my mods. It may have been the mods have been adjusted, but Talon's way close to the enemy than he normally is. Going for the Skoda, lightly armoured vehicle this one. One of the Czech tanks that the Germans rejected, and I think they thought it was just too lightly armoured. Did have a good 75mm gun, but it was rejected like the Skoda T25 was rejected. And both of them were reasonable tanks, actually. Now we can see where the cruiser is. Now this is a tier 6 game with tier 4 tanks in it. And that cruiser, well, he's in a lot of danger. Oh, we can see the Panzer III J has lost a lot of hit points, and he's showing a mark on the back of his vehicle, which may be from one of Talon shells, and his final shell there picks him off, takes him out the game. So I think he got hit more than once by Talon when he was unspotted. It looks to me like a shell landed on his rear and stripped away most of the hit points. This fight is going to go if the shell lands on him. It does! Direct hit. I thought that might happen. He was fully dialed in, ready to go. And those types have got very, very light armour. Well, the Grille does have a limited range, so he's going to have to get a bit closer to the enemy if he wants to shoot at some of the other targets. So he's motoring, he's moving on up. His team need to do the same though. Oh good, he's picking some cover that he can shoot from. Now the enemy still have their Arty. He's still in play. Their Arty is also Grille, and they also have a Fifi. So does our team. If you don't know what Fifi is, it's a Fifi La Pew Pew or 105 letter FH82. Rounds out the 36. Didn't get that one on target. Styling in. Now Talon's been in a bit of a contest recently with his partner, and what's been going on is that whoever has the best score wins a weekend of lying in and not having to get up to tend to the boy, because their boy, Remy, he gets up very early in the morning and he demands attention, and well, whoever loses the contest, they have to get up with Remy. But I suppose you get to enjoy his company. Oh, he got him! He splash killed him when he was unspotted. Okay, there's still 5 enemy tanks out there. It's a reduced numbers game, obviously. Okay, there's that VK again. It's fairly close. I think that was a shell from the Fifi. Talon's very, very close to him, actually. But he has got him on target now. Rounds out. Oh, that's going to miss. In fact, I'm not even sure where that shell went. In fact, he's way closer than normal, because that VK is coming towards him. He's in the Western Pass now, so Talon's going to have to be careful. If he fires in sight of that VK, he will see him. And Talon will have to dive for cover. Was he spotted? Yes, he was. So run for cover quickly. Go behind that rock. No, don't back up. Don't back up. And he's got damaged in the tracks. Okay, that's good. He's behind the rock. But the Fifi saw him. And you can see the rounds from the Fifi are landing nearby. But the Fifi's lost sight of him now because the VK was killed. And he's still firing behind Talon where he thought he was. Talon's retiring back to his cap area. Will the Fifi keep firing in that direction? No, he's given up. Okay. Now, it appears that Talon's got eagle eye because it's come up and said that the last target he fired at was damaged tracks, damaged engine, and I think that's why the VK was killed, but they're still up, they're still showing. They're one tank up on the enemy now, and he's returned to his normal position. The Fifi's decided to move up, but then he's got a much longer range and he's much slower. Okay, he's ready to go. He's now looking for a target. Now that cruiser Mark IV was last seen on the north side of the hill. He's decided he's going to go. He's going to join the Fifi. It's a very tough little chassis. This. It's only a very, very light tank in weight. It's only 14 tons. So the Panzer 38, or Achtung 30, as they would say in German, is a perfect chassis for this vehicle because it's so lightweight. The gun's basically most of the weight. They actually had to build some ammo carriers because this vehicle couldn't carry all the ammo it needed to fight its battles. They're 102 ammo carriers built for 282 Grillas. The ammo carrier, by the way, they would just carry the shells. They wouldn't have a gun, but they could be mounted with the gun. You can literally take the gun off the hull and use it as an ammo carrier. Or if the hull of the Grille was damaged, he could actually mount the shell instead. Oh, he got the kill! He took him out. Now, can he get this T28? He's still reloading. Standard reload time is 22.53 seconds. Is he going to get a shot loaded in time? He should be able to take that T28 out. Oh, he now landed it near him. And he was seen. No, get behind the wreck. And he's been hit. Yeah, unfortunately, now he's getting torn to shreds by the T28. Yeah, he had the 57mm gun, which is the one that penetrates just about anything. And you can see the wreck of the Fifi nearby. So he has gone down. It was a bit of an open position, and he was way out in the open. The T28 would have seen him the moment he came around the corner. What we can hope, though, is that Matilda's 4 is going to go around the corner and finish off that T28. Let's see if he'll do it. Should only take a few shots. Now, he has been spotted, so Arty's probably going to pay attention to him. And remember, they do have a Fifi. He's reverse side scraping now, which is odd because I don't think that's necessary. Okay, it's 3-all now. Now, this is a good tank to side scraping because the Matildas were very, very strong. In fact, the Russians liked the Matilda because of the quality of the vehicle. I think if you ever look at the Armoured Archives and the documentary on the Matilda, they did send quite a few over to Russia. And the Russians liked them a lot, actually, because, yeah, they were good builds. They took off the 2-pounder gun because they didn't think very much of that. And this is why the Matilda 4, you see, has got that, I think it's a 76mm, if I remember correctly. It's a standard Soviet gun with standard Soviet shells. One of the things they liked about it wasn't just the reliability, it was the fact that it could take a lot of damage and still keep moving. And also the German shells, because of course if they were firing their standard guns, they were having difficulty trying to take this tank out. Which of course is the same was true in the desert. The Germans had a lot of difficulty with the Matildas. They had to get accurate shots on the weak spots in order to take them out. They were so heavily armoured. It is, after all, an infantry tank as such. And they're resorting to firing HE at him now. That was an HE shell. You see the HE marks along the side? That's the yellow marks. Standard ordinary armour piercing would be in green. And our T28's gone down, and now it's just the Matilda. No, it's just the P2640. And the 2-minute hooter's gone off, and the P26 is an AFK. So the enemy's got 2 T28s and the Fifi, and there's only an AFK guarding the cap, but I'm not sure the enemy's got enough time to get to the cap, and if they do get to the cap and they see the P2640, they'll probably try to take him out. Well, there's the clock ticking down. Last minute. You can see the P2640 off in the distance. Will he actually start losing damage? Or taking damage? It's going to take at least 6 shots, I would say, for the for the enemy to kill the P2640 with their 57mm gun, because it only does 85 hit points of damage. Alpha, I don't think they can do it now. Even if they spot him, they probably still think he's hunting them. Oh no, they're firing at him now, and they got an ammo rack. Let's hope that they don't get an ammo rack which kills him. They're both firing, and they ran out of time. So they were working together, those T-28s. They were in platoon, but sadly they just ran out of time, and thankfully that means that Talon has got a draw. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Here's the end of battle results for that game. It was a second class tanker for talon1958 in the Grille. He also managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 19 in this one. His win rate was very high, 4,172, which is Super Unicum standard. If we look at the team score, we can see that he got the second highest damage on his team, and it was the third highest damage overall, because the T-28, one of them, managed to get a Pascucci's medal and 2,666 hit points, and the next high score after that was the T-34 on our team with 1,785, followed by Talon with 1,450. When it came to kills, he shared the top spot with the T-28. Both had 4 kills each. 3 kills went to the T-34 and the enemy Fifi, and 2 kills to the T-150 and the Type 64. When it came to base XP, it was the T-28 who did the best with 783. Then we got Talon with 587, and after that it's the T-34 with 541. He fired 18 rounds in that game, got 2 direct hits, 1 penetration, 12 splash. Damage of 1,450 hit points, of which 1,128 were at more than 300 meters. He received 4 hits, 4 penetrations. I'm afraid it was that 57mm gun. It just goes straight through the armor, and the armor on the Grille is very thin indeed. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, and 237 hit points of damage assistance, and 471 hit points of stun assist off 9 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 32,222 credits, got 30,000 for completing the mission and events, and that brought up a total of 62,222 credits altogether. After repair, ammunition resupply took away 51,540 credits overall in profit. 880 XP, no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. Let's have a look at that. Did he actually hit the cruiser? Yes, he did hit the cruiser. How many times did he hit the Panzer J? Yes, he did hit him twice, and he got him for 377 hit points. So I think he did actually knock this guy twice and hit him on the engine bay with one of those blind shots, and that's why he managed to get so much damage and then finally take that guy out. The tactical, well, I'm afraid he did move up and he didn't stay in cover. Now, it's something I've been guilty of myself. If you do move up, you have to remember you need cover from the enemy. That T-28 was still around, and he did know that. And really what he should have done, by all rights, is pull back into cover again like he did the first time after he got hit by the VK. Or rather, he didn't get hit by the VK, but once he got spotted by the VK, he pulled straight into cover. And that's the same thing. He should have done that with the T-28s. In fact, if he'd done that, he might have got a couple of shots into the T-28 instead of only getting one near miss. And that might have finished off that T-28 because he had already lost some hit points, and you only need a couple of shots from a Grille to take them out. Because after all, the alpha damage from this Arty is 540. So if you were to get just a splash on him, it's going to take, what, 220 hit points or maybe 250 hit points off him. And if you do get that, considering how many hit points he had left, 2 hits would have been enough to take him out of the game, I think. There you go. Unfortunately, it was a draw, but it was an interesting battle nonetheless. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.